So I just did one of the most fun things we get to do as fly tyers at the bench, and that is sitting down and experimenting, coming up with something new and crazy. Now I'm heading off to Shenandoah National Park tomorrow with the wife, going to spend a few days camping, but I should get one day on the water. Now I am usually a dry fly fisherman, but I'm making a conscious effort this year to fish more wet flies. So I wanted to come up with one, kind of old school, but not really. Maybe inspired by some of the old school winged wet flies. And I experimented quite a bit with this one. I tried different body materials, some natural fur and then synthetic and a dark and a light. I ended up going with a dark synthetic, and I tried a couple of different ribs, silver oval tinsel, silver wire. And I think the silver wire ended up looking a little bit better. Tried it with and without a tail. It looked kind of cool with Lady Amherst pheasant tippets for the tail, but started getting just a little bit too busy. And then for the wing, I decided to just keep it pretty classic with a duck. And I was debating natural or white. I ended up going with natural. You'll see here in a second. But the one distinguishing feature that I did want to keep on this was using fluorescent orange thread and making a hot spot at the front. And since we haven't done a Name the Fly contest in a couple of months, and I know I probably shouldn't do this because I'm already about 100 comments behind, and this video will get 100 more, and I'm going to be out camping, so probably be even slower answering these, but let's do it anyway. How it works is just watch the video and then leave a comment with a name, with what name you think we should call this fly. In a few days, I'll pick 4 of them and we'll put it out there for a vote. And then I'll send the winner a $25 gift card to Stockard. So that's it. Just try to keep it fun on this crazy little pattern that not anything really too special, but it was kind of fun to tie. So there it is in the vise. The as yet to be named, very simple, kind of old school wet fly. Except that synthetic dubbing, wire rib, and I guess fluorescent thread, so not really old school at all. Except maybe that wing. The wing was duck. So I'm tying this pretty big. That's size 10, one extra long, one extra strong, barbless wet fly hook. And I am using this fluorescent orange thread because I want a hot spot up front. So I'll catch it in somewhere in the middle, and then I'll leave it up here maybe a third of the way back. And I'm going to use a wire rib in silver, and I chose silver and wire because I'm using a pretty fuzzy synthetic dubbing and a dark color. I'm going with black. So catch that in up front. Now we'll take it back here to the bend of the hook. Let's put a little wax on it. And I'm going to use black and a super bright here. I'm going to put a good bit on, and I'm not really going to worry about getting a real tight noodle here because I'm going to put that rib pretty close together. The wraps on the rib fairly tight. So that's not a really tight noodle right here, but it should get me up there, and if I need to, I can kind of tighten it back up a little bit because it's splitting up a little bit on me there. Okay, that is a big fuzzy mess of a body, but you know what? We can fix that and make it nice and tight when we wrap this rib. So just put these wraps as close together as you want, and I'm going to counter wrap it. Okay, however many wraps you think you need to get up front, now we'll go ahead and catch this wire off. That's enough wraps. I can helicopter it off right here. Now I'm just going to take 2 thin slips from a natural duck. And I thought about using white here, but I think white would just be a little too much contrast. I mean, we already got a hot spot on it, so I think a natural duck is going to contrast enough with that body and still help make this hot spot pop. So a couple of wraps, take a look at that. Check your position. I want them laying down a little flatter than that, maybe. So a couple wraps right there, and that's not laying down too flat, but you know what? I'm happy with it. A couple extra wraps to secure this. Now we'll snip the front of these wings off right here. And I'll do a couple wraps just to flatten that area out. And we could probably just put our head on it and finish this, but I'm going to put a throat on it. Just a little slip of guinea feather. And I'll put them in my fingers and roll them around a little bit just to try to unmarry them. Now we'll flip it over, catch this throat in right here on the underside. Okay, couple wraps, take a look at it. Yep, that's about what I want. I don't want it really any longer than that. So we'll a few extra wraps to secure that. Now we got this excess up front to contend with. And now I'm going to spin quite a few wraps right here and make a pretty big head. I think this part of the fly, I want it to have a big fluorescent orange hotspot. Okay, that's probably big enough. Just keep in mind that with the UV resin or head cement, it will make it a little bit bigger. So we can whip finish this right here. So there we go. I think it's kind of a neat little semi-old school but modern material wet fly. And I can't wait to hear the names y'all come up with for this thing. So I appreciate you watching. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.